Well, the 49ers, being the boneheads they are, of course, releasing half of their Super Bowl roster after making the Super Bowl 2 years ago, kind of shut their Super Bowl window on their own terms.
Let's talk football.
Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the most boneheaded team in the NFL from the recent moves they made, the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners, letting go of half of their Super Bowl roster from the Super Bowl they had 2 years ago.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he got.
But also, they made some very questionable type of signings. They re-signed Trey Brown, Patrick Taylor, the fifth string running back for the team. But the Niners, they pretty much shut the window on their own terms. And this, I believe, is a bad sign for San Francisco. But, I mean, I don't even know what to think about this Niners team anymore. Because they shut their own window. That's what they did. They shut their own Super Bowl window. But I'm going to talk about this more in just a second. Before we get started, though, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's talk about what was a great team, the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, the Niners. I just got one thing to ask you. What in the Sam Hill were y'all thinking? Because I don't know what y'all were thinking in this scenario, because you look at the Eagles, they're right now 10 times better than you now after letting go of half your roster. And on top of it all, you trade Jordan Mason for a 6th-round pick. Really? Because from what I saw from Jordan Mason, he probably was worth like a 2nd or 3rd-round pick, not a 6th. I mean, really? Really? And then not only that, you released your second leading sacker in Leonard Floyd. Like, what are y'all doing in that scenario? Most boneheaded decision all season. You released Matt Collins, who I believe has a new home. I don't remember with who. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Javon Hargrave, who signed with the Minnesota Vikings. You have Kyle Juszczyk that was released, but then you re-signed him just to pay him $8 million, which I believe that's going to cost you more dead cap. I believe. Don't correct me if I'm wrong on that. Then you trade away your 2nd overall best receiver, Deebo Samuel, who only struggled last year because Brandon Ayuk and Christian McCaffrey were both hurt. So he had to endure the ball even more. And not only that, your two notable signings was to sign Demarcus Robinson to a 2-year, $9.5 million deal, and he's decent. I'll say that much. And then your second move was a notable move was to sign Mac Jones, who was a expired bag of chips backup.
You serious?
Because he's not been anything since he was traded away from New England. Like, what? 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 Like, this team is so freaking annoying. I actually rooted for the 49ers in that Super Bowl that they faced the Chiefs. But I did not trust them because Shanahan, time and time again, has proven that he can't shine in the big moments. Like, what are y'all doing? You look at the Rams inside of your division, they only got stronger. You're looking at the Seahawks inside of your division, they've somewhat got better. We'll see what Sam Darnold does, but we'll see. Then you look at the Cardinals, they just got Josh Sweat. What did y'all get? Demarcus Robinson, who's a decent wide receiver, and a backup quarterback who's a bag of chips, Mac Jones. What? I mean, you're pulling the Dallas Cowboys right now. That's what I'm seeing. What are y'all doing? Like, are you going to pay Purdy like $70 million a year? Because that's what I'm seeing right now from the whole state of things. I'm not saying that's what he's going to get, but from what y'all have been doing, that's what it's looking like. I do believe Brock Purdy will get $40 million a year just because that's what the quarterback market is set at. Well, we look at the division. I had the 49ers winning the NFC West before the offseason started underway after the Super Bowl happened. I now dropped them to last because the 49ers got last place written all over them. They let go half of their guys for a bag of chips quarterback in Mac Jones and a decent wide receiver in Demarcus Robinson. And on top of it all, you dropped only in your conference. You look at the Eagles, they're better than you. The Commanders, they're better than you. The Buccaneers, they're better than you. And you also look at the entire NFC North. All those 4 teams are better than y'all combined. I believe even the Bears have an argument to be up there. And they're actually looking pretty good from the offseason moves they made. And I'm definitely not taking you in the entire division after what the releases you had made. Let me get this straight. You released your guys. You released 3 of your key defenders after 2 seasons ago. After last year, you were complaining about all your injuries. And then you all of a sudden release all your guys. You don't even retain Drake Greenlaw. You don't retain Tali Hufanga. You don't retain Charvarius Ward. Like, what? This 49ers team is such a confusing team. They are so confusing. They made 3 Super Bowls since the year 1996, since Steve Young was their quarterback, and they haven't been back to they have not won a Super Bowl since. Like, when are you all going to actually go all in? When are y'all going to do that? Because the way I'm looking at it right now, you all don't look anywhere near from that Super Bowl level that you had. That Super Bowl level, you were like the Avengers. You like the Avengers, or like Justice League, or the Justice Society even. You were a legion of heroes in that point. And now, you're just a one-man show in this case. And I've said this about Brock Purdy, and I'm going to especially say it now. Brock Purdy has to do something. He has to turn into Superman. He's got to take off those Clark Kent-like glasses and turn into Superman. That is what he has to do. He needs to get out of that billionaire shirt and turn into Batman. That's what he's got to do. He's got to... You get my point. Y'all see my point. The 49ers released Kyle Juszczyk and then retained him. Really? And now you got to pay him even more money from what I've seen from it. Don't correct me if I'm wrong on that. And you all got slightly worse. I mean, I know Malik Mustafa was a good safety, but he's not Charvarius Ward. I know that for dang sure. And you release all of that money to get Mac Jones and Demarcus Robinson. Amari Cooper is a much better wide receiver than Demarcus Robinson. Stephon Diggs is a much better receiver than Demarcus Robinson. And a few other guys I cannot name at this exact point in time. You have the money. You could have gotten Josh Sweat. You could have gotten Mr. Sweatalicious from the Philadelphia Eagles. You could have had him. But instead, you let him go to the division rival Cardinals. You could have had a chance at Cooper Kupp. What did y'all do instead? You went for Demarcus Robinson, a former teammate of his, and now Cooper Kupp is in the division rival Seattle Seahawks. My point is to the Niners. I've said it about them for years, and I'm going to say it again. Just wait. Remain composed. No matter how good the Niners might look, no matter how good of a size roster they got, which you don't have anymore, don't lose your mind. No matter how hard it might possibly get, whenever the expectations are at the highest peak, time and time again, the 49ers will always find a way to come crashing back down to earth. And they will never let me down. They will never let me down. Because I've seen it for the last 2 years of being a YouTuber. I called in the Super Bowl when they had I called in the Super Bowl. They would have the lead at the end of the first half, and then eventually choke it in the second half because it's who the Niners are. They can't keep a 10-point lead. And actually, the Eagles were able to do that a whole lot better than y'all were able to. And last year, y'all were giving excuses because of your injuries. What excuse are y'all going to give now? Because you released half your Super Bowl roster, which about 70% of them were injured last year. What are y'all's excuse now? Because in my eyes, you got no more excuses. If I'm telling you all this right now, if the 49ers miss the playoffs again, and more importantly, if they come in last place of the West, if they either miss the playoffs or come in last place of the West, I'm telling you all this right now. You can kiss John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan out of San Francisco. Because how do you release half your Super Bowl roster to go eventually have a losing record and eventually miss the playoffs? I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's what I'm saying will be talked about if the 49ers miss the playoffs. Why did you trade away Deebo Samuel if he had a great year in the Washington Commanders? Why did you trade away Jordan Mason, who had a better year in Minnesota? Why would you let go of half your defensive guys if they're already having better years in their new homes? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying that's what's going to be talked about if that does happen. If that scenario does come around, we are going to be talking about this whole front office as the most boneheaded front office in the National Football League. We're going to be talking about John Lynch as the most worthless GM in the NFL. He's been in the 49ers faithful for years. No Super Bowl ring to show for it with the talented rosters they've had. Kyle Shanahan, he still cannot get the job done after losing that Super Bowl in Super Bowl 51, which we all know what happened there. This is what I'm going to say is going to be talked about. We're going to question the 49ers culture. We are going to question if Brock Purdy is actually the guy. We are going to question all of this if they cannot go back to the playoffs next year. I'm just saying now the facts. I'm saying now what is going to be said if the 49ers miss the playoffs. But I'm telling you this right now. The 49ers better be praying that Deebo Samuel and Jordan Mason don't have a better year in their new homes than the 49ers crew. Because if they do, and the 49ers squads have lesser yards combined than those two, oh, there is going to be a lot of discussions around this Niners front office. And the Niners, their Super Bowl window is sealed shut under their own undoing. Don't count you guys think. Dude, what are your guys' thoughts on the 49ers releasings? Do you guys think the 49ers Super Bowl window is shut? Let me know in the comments what y'all think down below. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.